If you go back to the White Evil period, then you will see one of the most prosperous animal dynasties in the history of the Earth. Among them are tyrannosaurids that stand on the peak of land, over the weight of an African elephant and incomparably powerful. With its body, it is enough to dominate one side. And there are also beasts of the sky with a body length of more than 30 meters. These guys wouldn't fit on a standard basketball court. The number of plants we need every day is a huge number. You can even see pterosaurs the size of small airplanes. They can even fight a Tyrannosaurus Rex as they soar through the sky. And the chosen one from the ocean was born in this era. Their sheer size doesn't affect their ejection and crushing combat power at all, making them absolute kings in the water. And in this epic, you're about to see the fifth mass extinction in history. It was also a visual victory that surpassed the epic blockbuster. Welcome to Beiliji, a peak era of dinosaur domination, in order not to lose everyone's appetite. The first guy to show up ranges from centenarians to 3-year-olds. That's right, that's Tyrannosaurus Rex, as a row among tyrannosaurids. Tyrannosaurus Rex is also known as Lizard Tyrant, as a legendary horror, with a body length of 13 meters and a weight of 9 tons. This body alone has crushed most predators, and that's just the basic configuration. Tyrannosaurus Rex had stereoscopic vision. Powerful insight can accurately target prey day and night. And he has this really powerful jaw. Each tooth is nearly 20 centimeters in length. So just by its bite strength, he ranks among the best land predators in history. A pair of muscular thighs makes him not slow. But many people do not know that Tyrannosaurus Rex is actually a strong swimmer. Hollow bones paired with powerful limbs also allow him to move freely in the water. This hexagonal resin is a war machine. And Tyrannosaurus Rex, as the new king of an era, his favorite prey were the mighty ceratops, like the familiar triceratops. In many film and television works, triceratops are reduced to supporting roles in prey. Now, this dinosaur was a vegetarian, but the combat effectiveness is not weak at all. Their massive well shields with long, hard horns, every charge is devastating. And their skin is also very thick. This makes most predators hesitant to provoke. And a triceratops, is a guy who likes these things. There was no grass in the age of dinosaurs, so green plants of all kinds often contain toxins, and triceratops have to deal with the toxins after they build up in their bodies. To a certain extent, each animal has its own unique survival strategy. Triceratops often enter some special caves in search of a strange antidote. That is soil. Soil with special ingredients can help them neutralize toxins in their bodies. So this mighty ceratops, under normal circumstances, most predators wouldn't want to mess with him, except for those tyrannosaurids. Tyrannosaurus Rex is not just full. They also possess excellent hunting skills. But there's a lot of times when it costs a lot to hunt a single horn. After all, in this humid season, large wounds can also lead to wound infection if left untreated. Taking a cold shower after eating and drinking is undoubtedly a good choice. This can both clean the wound and drink it well. Tyrannosaurus Rex is not only powerful, also very territorial. Acquaintances of the same kind often occur in groups. So in the wild, if two strange Tyrannosaurus Rex meet, then there is a high probability that there will be a big fight. As the saying goes, one mountain cannot tolerate two tigers, unless one male and one female. And Tyrannosaurus Rex has a very simple idea of mate choice. A strong body means good health. The more scars on the body, the stronger the opponent's strength, however. Sometimes an interesting soul is also necessary, like a beautiful love song. Rest of life blizzard is you. Chunhua is you. Xiaoyu is also you. Who can refuse a man of the opposite sex who is both powerful and attractive? The quiet environment of the woods is very suitable for talking about life ideals. After 3 long seconds, the two tyrannosaurs are also tied together. They will hunt collaboratively for a short period of time. It's not until after the pups are born that they are likely to part ways. It turns out that most animal courtship paths are very interesting. For example, this carnivorous Torosaurus in front of you. Carnivorous bovine dinosaurs belong to the Abelisauridae family. At 8 meters long and 3 tons, they weren't as good as T-Rex, but they were incredibly good at running. The fastest running speed can even reach 60 kilometers per hour. Therefore, it is also known as the white crocodile series treasure. They have 2 short, thick ones above their eyes, hence the name Taurus. And this ox dragon has been tidying up this place for 3 days and 3 nights. It is a special honor to bow your head today. It's not that loud, but the unique frequency can travel through most of the forest. When the sweetheart heard the call and came to the cow dragon, then you're ready to start showing yourself. Tyrannosaurus Rex singing love songs is different. Maybe it was better at showing off its body. The years have passed, girl. This has arisen and fallen grudges. Flashing sleeves, lighting, the moon, the wind, the moon, falling flowers, leisurely pillows, and the sword is sleepless. You are a traveler of mountains and rivers, but you always sigh and say goodbye. A cup of thick temples like frost. His dance is quite explosive even after tens of millions of years. It's a pity that aesthetics is always wonderful after 3 busy days. He overlooked an important thing, that is no shower. The other party slipped away when he smelled the crunch. Obviously, the white evil trail is not as vicious as you think. These behemoths also have their own gentle side. After seeing the singing and dancing skills of the dinosaurs, and then there's the pterosaur. This is a Hartesgope pterosaur. Wingspan is more than 12 meters. It is also one of the largest flying animals in this era. Only the Fengshan pterosaur can rival him. He caught a small dinosaur early this morning, but he wasn't too busy eating. Instead, I came to this beautiful island. Art knows no borders. There's not even a species boundary. A few seemingly ordinary dead trees are a unique work of art, under careful manipulation. And this operation is also made visible to the passing female pterosaurs in the air. Hard work pays off. The long wait is always worth it. A beautiful and delicious female pterosaur slowly landed on the ground to inspect in order to better understand the other party's physical condition. After all, the offspring of a good spouse are also more powerful. And the guy is obviously familiar with the process. Immediately lowered his head and showed the betrothal gift in front of the other party. Can carry an 18-kilogram prey for such a long distance. Nature also represents its own strength, however. We have seen the courtship process of the previous 2 dinosaurs. Naturally, I also know that sometimes simple and rude may not necessarily lead to results. Then the young man had to slowly put down the prey. Just show it. There's a girl who makes my mind big. My childish behavior made a big mistake to you. I don't know what you say. Boring food with money. You slowly lose heart and feel that I'm not serious about relationships. You know, men are natural children. Children's weaknesses ignore the other half's feelings. It's easy to correct. I just owe training. More experience can make love start over. More eager for the future. Did this young man understand love in the past? It seems that it is not enough. Sometimes fate is so simple. The 2 pterosaurs of the same frequency need not say more at this moment. Not only quite tacit understanding, even the behavior is getting more and more intimate. It's a pity that this world is not a result of your will. Just when the next second is about to enter the critical stage, a young Hartesgope pterosaur suddenly barged in here. The other party is obviously menacing. We seem to have forgotten one thing. This is an era when the strong are king. The boy saw this scene and his anger went straight to the sky. The husband and wife's worship is over. Come at this time, and that would be intolerable for any male. These large pterosaurs can be awkward on the ground. Under the boy's mad dog offensive, outsiders are immediately beaten and run away. Hollow bones and a light body. Powerful arches allow them to catapult and take off. And after beating out the competition, the courtship process can continue again. All the bells and whistles are on display. As long as the female accepts her bride price, then the next thing will follow. The sea has always been so dark since life. In the time it took me to finish saying this sentence, 2 pterosaurs complete the entire reproduction process. Then the little girl turned her head and flew away with disgust on her face. Guys are used to this kind of situation. He doesn't feel embarrassed. For at this moment, the seeds of his life have been carried on. Then he will inherit the position of air supremacy. Soaring in this vast age of dinosaurs, pterosaurs were not dinosaurs, but a strange branch of reptiles. After experiencing the singing, dancing, and rap of these powerful creatures, let's look at those spears again. Dinosaurs and today's birds originated in part from terror, and the feather-like structure has been around since the Triassic age. The original function was to heat and keep warm. In many cold places, dinosaurs also grew hair. For example, the Arctic at that time. The sun hardly rises for about 3 months of the year. Then the temperature and food become equally heavy. These high-speed running dinosaurs are called tetrasaurs. The agile Torosaurus was also one of the fastest dinosaurs. In search of fresh plants, they can navigate large areas very quickly. That's the same speed that most predators can't catch up to them. However, sometimes I'm so hungry that I can't help it. That's just a try. This is a dinosaur called Polarosaurus. He managed to get through the long midnight, so he urgently needs to hunt his prey as soon as possible. Otherwise, you won't be able to hold on for long. Polarosaurus is also a Tyrannosaurus, a relative of Tyrannosaurus rex. But their bodies think too much, however, losing strength and physique in exchange for extreme speed. There are few obstacles to hide in this place. So it also means that it is impossible for him to carry out a sneak attack. It seems that there is no choice. Then go for it. The pursuit between the two sides also began between lightning and flint. If you run for a long time, the white bear dragon must have no chance. So he needs to identify a target in a short period of time and just keep running. Unfortunately, this hunt seemed doomed from the beginning. The full speed of the four-bird dragon must be much more advantageous than the white bear dragon. And not catching the prey is not the most serious. This run once again consumed his precious physical strength. If he continues like this, he will soon be unable to hold on. But the reason why dinosaurs can become the absolute me of this era, there must be a reason for that. They are adept at seizing every possible opportunity, like the snow that fell from the sky when the temperature dropped rapidly, and some of the exposed rocks. This is a great way to hide the scent of a predator. When hunters have had enough time to prepare, just get him close enough. Then no animal can escape the attack of this deadly hunter. Seems the same as last time. The two sides began a disparate pursuit match again, but this time, the distance between the white bear dragon is obviously closer. At this time, once there is a weak psychological endurance among the prey, then there will naturally be flaws in many cases. Emotions can affect the performance of one's physical state. Obviously, this Ornithosaurus has gone far, and after so many days of hard work, the white bear dragon finally harvested its first prey. But hungry, he did not choose to rush to eat. A group of things that are more important to him are still waiting for him to come home. This mother is also great. Apparently, the only full meal in weeks will keep their family going for a while longer. So many predators have seen, and then we get to the giant Westerfoot dinosaurs. These Arabian dragons are over 30 meters long. It weighs over 70 tons. You only need to be an adult to be invincible. Even the biggest predators are generally not interested in them. However, no matter how powerful a creature is, it will always grow old one day. The Arabian dragon walking at the end is over 70 years old. Many of the dinosaurs in this group are his descendants, and today his long life comes to an end. The huge body has begun to fade away. Then he slowly fell to the ground. At his age, it's a sleeping beast. After a complete slumber, wait until the next morning. A group of two-toothed dragons smelled the smell and came. These little guys don't look good, but they're pretty much one of the smartest dinosaurs in the dinosaur world, good at looking for any opportunity. They found this beast in the first place. Obviously they are developed, however. Sometimes the outcome is very realistic. Their teeth cannot bite through skin more than 7 centimeters thick. A group of merchant-toothed dragons shrank and gnawed for a long time. But still no harvest, then let's put the strong on the field. Tyrannosaurus rex has just completed its honeymoon. Obviously, compared to the laborious hunting, pick up a ready-made one and it's perfect. Huge and sharp teeth are enough to penetrate the skin of all charcoal machine creatures. Although this Arabian dragon is very large, but he didn't want to share it with the Myrmidon. Just as the Tyrannosaurus rex was half full, an uninvited guest also suddenly appeared. This is a pterosaur. It was a giant pterosaur. He's one of the few creatures that can fight an adult T-Rex. Of course, a pterosaur won't make a Tyrannosaurus rex back down. The pterosaur's only threat to Tyrannosaurus rex is his 1.8 meter long soul. This thing hurts on the body too. If you accidentally hit your eyes, then the word Cyclops was born early. The pterodactyl had no intention of giving up its huge prey. But Tyrannosaurus rex isn't backing down. After all, just one pterosaur is not enough to pose a threat to him. However, then another dragon roar sounded. The second pterosaur also appeared. A pair of twos changed the whole game. Tyrannosaurus rex, as the apex predator, made an instant judgment. He has to take out a competitor very quickly. It's a pity that the opponent didn't give him a chance. Once the pterosaur hovers in the air, then it is equivalent to standing in the invincible land. And it really made the T-Rex miserable. I have all the power in my body, but I have nowhere to use it. This is not a good time for a T-Rex, although the opponent cannot cause any fatal damage. But I obviously can't keep getting beaten up here, so this huge prey can only hand in hand. These flying behemoths temporarily win. But that doesn't mean that Tyrannosaurus Rex can't beat Pterosaur, only under certain circumstances. Each behemoth has its own unique advantages, and there were dinosaurs that were discovered that were thought to be able to crush a Tyrannosaurus Rex. For example, this guy with a huge overturned head in front of him. His name is Geelong. The bone in the back of this predator is 2 meters long. The maxilla, discovered in 2005, is nearly 2 meters in size. So initially, they gave him a reduction of 17 meters. This is bigger than a Tyrannosaurus Rex. However, over time, it turns out that this guy's body shape is not so exaggerated. And his body may be better adapted to go fishing and shrimp in rivers than on land. Therefore, Geelong was also named after the fisherman. And being big doesn't mean being strong. We also need to start with weight, body structure, bite force, and other aspects. After introducing so many land creatures, then let's go to the sea and see the daily life of the ocean overlord. Many people have heard of the Kanglong, even in many movies and TV dramas. It is also the existence of Sekal Tyrannosaurus Rex, and the largest of them all is a Hoffman. There are very few bodies about 15 meters long in the entire sea. Kanglong belongs to a marine reptile. Using the lungs to breathe, they need to come out of the water regularly to arouse. And Kanglong usually eats marine life. If you happen to encounter a fear of coming to practice swimming in the territory, then it will also enter his recipe. It is the blessing of so many strange creatures that made the age of dinosaurs bloom with the most amazing flowers in the world. During the White Evil period, angiosperms began to appear widely and spread rapidly. They reproduced by pollen. The emergence and prosperity of angiosperms had a late-night impact on Earth's ecosystems and biodiversity. It was such a powerful animal dynasty that created an unprecedented event in the history of the Earth. Dinosaurs ruled the Earth for 160 million years. They flourished from the Jurassic to the Bi. Things like Tyrannosaurus Rex only started appearing at the end of the White Evil Age. If you give them enough time, I don't know how far it will go. However, no dynasty lasts forever. A terrible disaster is about to engulf this land where life blooms. Next, please pull the rich. Let's witness this visual feast together. On the morning of the disaster, it took a large group of Edmontosaurus to complete the Great Migration. This season is a great time for these behemoths to officially nest. The usual. This female must care for her starving young. Let them have the best possible starting point. And the children were starving. The mother dragon will feed her chewed plants to their mouths. 1,000 kilometers away, an adult Tyrannosaurus Rex is eyeing. He was about to teach his top hunting skills to 2 children, and they're aiming for the lonely corner. It's a pity that children are young and impatient after all. The accidental freezing will make the prey flee vigilantly. Apparently, the Tyrannosaurus father was not satisfied with the children's performance. We still have a lot to learn. Perhaps by tomorrow they will have better luck. Tomorrow, of course. In a series of giant Arabian dragons happily feeding. As one of the largest dinosaurs in history, these guys can indulge in the delicate pine elegance. Looking forward to a beautiful next day. They have been so for generations. And beneath the waves off the coast of Africa, countless lives are galloping. It's a vibrant landscape. Giant reptiles and dinosaurs ruled this charismatic planet. But what should come will come sooner or later. Obviously, today is a special day. An asteroid the size of Mount Everest is crashing towards Earth at 100,000 kilometers per hour. He passed by the lonely moon. The next impact will change the world forever. The impact released about as much energy as 1 billion atomic bombs. Now, the dinosaurs weren't killed by this. Most life is killed by the chain reaction set off by the impact. The first is a lethal thermal radiation explosion. Within 1,000 kilometers of the impact point, all life can be destroyed in a matter of seconds. Then the Earth was deformed by the impact. The shockwave of the earthquake began to travel rapidly across the planet. Just a few minutes later, the world began to experience major earthquakes. The dinosaurs were completely unprepared. Of course, it doesn't help to be prepared. At this time, the bigger the body, the less able to escape, and this is just the beginning. In the middle of the ocean, the earthquake triggered a series of huge waves. They will sweep through oceans and inland lakes at breakneck speed. Floods swept across North America. The rapidly rising torrent has formed an irresistible trend. It was the same in the mighty dinosaurs. Less than an hour after impact, the debris ejected into space is pulled back to Earth by gravity. And these things become hot and alive when they re-enter the atmosphere. It's a burning inferno. Began to slowly cover the whole land. If there are still creatures standing on the bare ground at this time, they're about to be on a 400-degree grill. Like those Edmonton doors, countless animals were roasted alive. They started screaming desperately cry for help. They weren't just running for their lives. I want to save my children more, but it didn't matter. Lava fragments start to fall like crazy raindrops. They won't last long, 2 hours after impact. A firestorm of choking dust has blanketed half the planet. It's getting hotter and hotter. And the plants seem to be kind of on their toes. The raging flames began to fill the surroundings. There is no escape from the ever-spreading purgatory. The pterosaurs relied on the sky for countless years. Now it has become the sickle of death, ruthlessly harvesting wave after wave of life. And in the forest, the triceratops are also in despair. No one can save them now, once such a natural disaster begins. No matter what era, animals have no ability to resist. What was once a vibrant blue-green planet is now a living hell. And the great dinosaur empire was completely destroyed in this day. This was also the 5th mass extinction event in history, also known as the Baije mass extinction. Directly caused 75% to 80% of species to go extinct. Dinosaurs on land, oriosaurs in the ocean. The kangasaurs and the pterosaurs above the sky are all extinct. Rich streams of dust pour down, eventually acid rain forms. Ancient coral reefs are all dead. The web of life collapses completely. And the dead bodies of the large marine reptiles provide a glimmer of life for the herbivores, such as amputees like those sharks. The deep sea is far from most disasters. This also allowed many creatures to survive. The behemoth that once rubbed them in the ground. Now it's also reduced to rations for these things, so that they could start a feast in the midst of the end. After this disaster, the earth has become a dead silence again. The smell of death pervades everywhere. Fortunately, disasters always come and go. When the sun shines on the earth again, the surviving creatures are also starting to emerge, such as those highly viable insects. The remains of animals are enough to provide them with the nutrients to survive. And in the midst of this disaster, the surviving land creatures generally share the same characteristics. That is smaller, and most of them live underground or in caves. The spark of life continues, and that includes mammals, of course. These guys inherited an Earth without dinosaurs. They've been held down by these beasts for 160 million years, until now it has finally ushered in the opportunity to rise. And the mighty dinosaur dynasty is now a thing of the past. But a curious branch of them remains. These guys are part of a dinosaur. We prefer to call them birds. As the so-called break and then stand, the passing of a dynasty also represents the dawn of a new era. And this is where the story of the rise of our own species begins.